Fort Worth native, and in my spare time, I do a bit of acting, and I've been doing some English tutoring for Ukrainians. It's part of my attempt to fight the evil Russian Empire. So I love mortgages, love helping people buy homes. One thing I heard when I first started in this business, the three best things in a person's life is, or three best things you can do in a person's life is you can marry them, you can deliver their first child, you can help them buy their first home. And if I can do one of those three, I'm doing pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to present to you on what we call our Prosperity 5. So next slide, please.
Here, and we're ready to go.
Slide 2. You can just go to slide 2. Okay, there we go. All right. First and foremost, we're an outside of the box thinker. We were created in 2009 by an East Coast-based real estate company, Long in Boston. So serving agents and their clients is part of our DNA from day one. We have a lot of experience from the local level all the way up to the national level. So we've seen it all, we've done it all. We can solve any problem that can get presented to us. This is just a basic example of one typical scenario. We've got a situation now in the post-NAR case world that we live in, where a buyer has to pay their agent fees. Well, here's 4 scenarios we can present to your clients. In this case, 2 seller paid scenarios, and then 2 scenarios where a buyer pays a scenario. Me, I use a tool called Mortgage Coach, which allows me to present these 4 options digitally on a screen so your client can see them side by side. It's very important to me to ensure my clients are able to see with granularity the information I'm trying to present to them so they can make the right decision for themselves. You also have access to the tool, so you can ensure that your clients are doing what they need. But bottom line is, we can think outside the box and we can deliver on that. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
You can and will know and trust us. All right. We've been in this region for over 30 years. My team, or our Texas part of our company, started out as the lending partners over in Dallas. You might know us as the in-house lender for Eddie Halliday. We've been around for over 30 years. We're local. I'm here. I'm not an internet person, but all you see is a picture in the signature block of an email. You can reach out and tell me to bring some Panera bread so we can talk business, right? So I'm local. We know what it takes to win deals here, and it's a huge advantage. Because of our expertise, several of our team members in our Dallas team are holding national level positions, both in underwriting and ops, and for one of our expedited loan services called Prosperity Express. That's the type of quality that I have backing me when I work with my clients. Next slide, please. We have a loan for everyone. We have a wide array of loans. We've got your traditional, conventional government loans and jumbo products, but we also have a lot of non-QMs. As agents, you file Schedule C for your incomes. You want to pay as little taxes as you want, but when you're trying to buy a house, that can kind of bite you in the backside, right? Well, we can offer things like bank statement loans, where we look at your inflow and outflow, and we can still qualify you for that house that you want. We can do asset qualifications, work with foreign nationals. We also have a team dedicated to brokering deals that we don't do in-house. So we can do new constructions, we can do lot loans, we can do any number of other type of loans that are non-traditional for your typical mortgage company. Basically, there's no problem we can't solve for you. Next slide, please. We have a new program. It's kind of new, but kind of a refurbished program that we've been running for years. We call it Competitive Edge. All right. One of the key features for Competitive Edge is we will underwrite client loans at the beginning of the process. I personally love doing that because it gets rid of all of the the questions on, is this deal going to go through? We know right away. And if there's a problem, we can address the problem long before your clients are under contract, and your stress and their stress is at a high level as the clock ticks down to closing. A feature of Competitive Edge is our $30,000 on-time closing guarantee. All right, $15,000 goes to the listing brokerage if we, the lender, are the cause for a delayed closing. Okay, and that's huge. I hear it when I talk to listing agents, because I personally always call listing agents to sell my clients, and you can hear that the change in their voice when I'm like $30,000 guarantee, 15 to your company, 15 to your seller. So it's very important to advocate for my clients in that way. Anything I can do to help them stand out and ensure success, I'm all for it. All right, next slide. And as I already said, we give $15,000 to the seller. What seller is going to want to turn down the chance of getting $15,000? Probably the only time a seller's like, I want you to miss closing, right? Yeah. So,
Wait us 5 days, please.
yeah, there you go. So, our call it the Home Sure Advantage. That's our pre-underwritten loan approval program that we have. Okay, and then so I've already mentioned the first two parts of our competitive edge program: the Home Sure Advantage underwritten loan, the $30,000 closing guarantee, and then the third option, third part of the program for your clients is if they refinance with us within 3 years of the original purchase, we will waive our origination fee. So currently that can save them up to about $1,695 on that refinance. So everything that we can do to keep business and serve your clients as best as we can. Now that's the Prosperity 5. We also have a lot of business related tools to offer. I don't know if you've heard of listing reports. That's something I use to offer my partners. We can do co-branded marketing. I ensure all of your contact information is on every bit of email marketing or loan status updates that get sent to the clients. That way, every time they say me, they see the person help them find the house and really shepherd them through the entire process. And that's just a commitment to you to ensure that should that client ever come back to us for any need, they're also going to be reminded to reach out to you. Okay, so I kind of told you how awesome we are. I'm sure all of you were thinking these guys are the awesome sauce of the mortgage industry, but you don't have to take my word for it. Next slide, please. Slide 8.
The next one?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Yesterday, J.D. Power announced that we are the #1 company and mortgage company in the country for client services, and this is an increase from last year where we were number 4. Next slide. And you can see here just how we ranked in all these different levels. You don't get those type of rankings if you're just kind of running the mill. The Arlington Board of Realtors just started a book club, and we are looking at the Fair Housing Act and the history of fair housing, how it came to be implemented and the future of it. And I'm one of 2 lenders on the panel. And yesterday there was a question like, how does fair housing apply to clients? And so I was thinking, and kind of like one answer I always give is, with my history in the military, I feel I know what a good leader is, who a good leader is. And you don't attain this type of customer satisfaction, this type of ranking without solid leadership. People who are moral, people who put their people first, put their clients first, and then hold the employees to standard in putting customers first. So this is us at the company level, and it's what I endeavor to offer you and your clients going forward. Next slide. Just briefly, this is our CEO, young guy, full of vim and vigor, and I really love how he communicates to us. He's not only an advocate for us, but he's a huge advocate for agents. And just the discussions we've had over the whole NAR lawsuit and stuff. I mean, this is somebody you definitely want in your corner for you. All right, that's all I've got. Any questions?
Interesting stuff. Personally, that's some really unique things that you guys have. I'll put your thing back up there about your first slide that you wanted. But anybody have anything?
When you said you'll do lot loans, we all do land loans as well.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's, I think, always the one gap I have is land.
It was a gap for us a long time, and then the company decided
Why
we were going
not?
to fix that, and so we built a team to help us do that.
Okay, cool.
Aaron, did you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, Jason, thank you so much for breakfast. Thank you for coming. I'll put all of your contact information in our Slack channels and in the follow-up that we send out. So thank you so much for coming today. Really great
Thank you for
information.
having me.
Thank you.
Should I wait around or
I'm sorry?
should I wait?
I think we're good. We've got several things going on, but you guys just, I'll give Jason's cell phone out this afternoon so you can text him or call him and with questions, okay?
Okay, so no, thank you so much. I'll leave that.
Yes, sir, perfect. That's great. Thank you so much, Jason.
All right, thank you, everyone.
And say thank you again. Have a great day, sir.
Good luck. Bye, Ashley.
Bye. I was just going to let you guys know I've worked with him several times and he's absolutely awesome, as well as his rates. Like, he beat out everybody that my very first client went through tons. She was like trying to price match, and it was just like a really seamless experience every time I've worked with him.
Thank you so much for that. That sounds good. All right, well, great. Good morning, Miss Angela. Okay, so we're going to hit our core value, and then, so here's what's going to happen if the internet stays with us. Those that have joined us online, thank you for joining. We are having internet issues here at the office. So if we drop out, I'll get back as soon as I can. Y'all can just stay there. I will come back. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit some high points of the market. And then we have another call scheduled at 10:30 with True Footage is the name of the company. And they are an automated appraisal outfit. Brian and I looked at this a couple of weeks ago, and because I wanted Brian's professional opinion as an appraiser, and he thought it was interesting and wanted you guys to see it. So we agreed to let them do a 15-minute presentation for us at 10:30. So we are here in the middle of November. We literally have 6 weeks left in the year. I know, just stay with me. Okay, so this is the time of year when we're going to get busy with family, with friends. So I want you guys to have this core value in your mind. We believe faith and family should come first, and the precious gifts to be savored. We will always create margin for both. We want to serve our clients, but we also want to serve our families well. We encourage margin and time off for our team members and want them to have a healthy work-life balance. Our hope is to see our team thrive personally. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, that even as busy as you are, schedule time for your family this holiday season. Because we are, I'm sorry, after Halloween, November 1st, that's holiday season. That's the way it works. I don't like it any more than you do. Thanksgiving deserves its own time, but I'm already seeing the Christmas commercials. So, okay, announcements. And Jimmy was supposed to be here. I'm sorry?
In my house, been decorated.
Have you? We haven't done it yet. We haven't done it yet. Okay, announcements. Next week, we're having Rachel Siphon over Public Title is going to be here with breakfast, and Sean Russell has a new program that he wants to unveil to you guys. So he's going to come visit with us about 10:15 or so. Give him 5 or 10 minutes. If you haven't filled out the Christmas extravaganza form that Holly sent out, please do so. You can scan that QR code right now on your phone. Even if you're not coming, we still need to know that you're not coming. We need an actual head count so we can plan on food and drinks. Holly, anything you want to add?
I don't think so. No, I think we have a decent amount of people coming, participating, bringing clients. Yeah, just as many people that can fill that out. Just for food really is the biggest thing. And then we'll get with those that have RSVP'd, yes, a little later, just for final numbers for like ornaments, things like that.
Okay, thank you, Holly. Appreciate it.
Oh, wait, Tasha.
Hey, and I was just going to say, on Slack, I did put the marketing piece out there and then kind of a blurb that you can text or email or Facebook message or however you want to communicate with your clients about the event. And then there will be, of course, a limited number of tickets, of course. So if people are planning on coming, we will send out that event link. Eventbrite, right, Holly? That's what we switched to. Anyways, we'll send out a link where they can RSVP so we can have a final head count for clients as well.
Great. Thank you, Tasha.
Yes.
Thank you, Holly. Okay, so you've heard me harping on code of ethics since June. I'm sorry. That's just my job, is to make sure that we get that done. Everybody that I reached out to that hasn't finished code of ethics, please go ahead and finish that soon. Again, you have 6 weeks to finish that. I know it's a long time and it's a very short class, But everybody that's taking it, it's only taking a couple hours. Please finish all of your code of ethics training so we don't have a problem on January the 1st. Jimmy was supposed to be here right now. Is that Jimmy?
Oh,
Brother,
You said 10:20, I'm here.
you're 5 minutes, right on time, dude. And so Jimmy has something he'd like to present. This is called balloonmyevent.com, and I've got it pulled up, Jimmy, if you're ready to talk about it.
Yeah, so
Are you expecting a balloon company?
it's my inner heart coming out, my inner personality you guys never knew about. No, this is okay, storytelling, success storytelling. One of their employees, him and his wife on the side have this balloon company. And so if anybody has like a really big like listing, I don't know, I'm assuming you need like I don't know, probably a bigger listing, not like a, $150,000 house, probably, that'd be kind of weird.
Don't exist.
Yeah, well, or 200, I don't know. My assumption is like a bigger listing. He said he would come out and do 1 or 2 of these for free for our agents. And like, it's basically like a big balloon arch or something like that for an open house. So if you had like one on like a high traffic area, then I don't know if it's like works or not. Like they do it for a lot of new builds. So I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes that sounds pretty cheesy to me. At the same time, it makes people stop, and then look at the house. So I could see how it would work in some neighborhoods or like maybe I don't know. It may be worth it, it may be not. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. All I know is he said he would do 1 or 2 for free. So that's what I'm telling you. So check it out. It's kind of first come, first serve. My assumption is there was not a lot of agents that would want this. So I was thinking, but first come, first serve.
Oh, that one's free.
I don't know. I feel like it would make some good content on some people that have like vacant
That's-
homes or something.
That's what I would
Do open
say.
houses or whatever, like Holly and Tasha's house is swap sale in Alito. That would be so cute in there.
My thought is like, if it's on the corner, people are at least gonna be like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is obnoxious?
Go ahead, Angela.
Oh, I'm actually always looking for Mylar balloons and would go to the dollar store to have, like a handful, and I would usually attach them to the open house signs. And that it to me, it gets a lot of attention. And
Yeah.
we had some issues back about 2 months ago where helium was kind of in short supply. So I'm just wondering if that is something that they're willing to provide to us. And I'll pay. But if I know that I can have balloons whenever I have an open house and have a predictable source, I think that will make it easier for me. So I'm just wondering if they're open to that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, if you're asking for like 4 or 5 balloons, I would say that probably not. But I think they're looking to do a display of some sort.
I see.
And they're on their website, you can kind of get a gist of what you're wanting. So I would just say, like, if you want a display or something like that, call them. And I think they'll do it pretty cheap for us. And so it was just a way to help out, sister company. So,
There are people always looking for this.
Oh, yeah.
Always
Yeah.
for,
And
and
it
it's
is.
expensive.
So I'll
For
put
events.
I'll have a link to Balloon My Event in the slide follow up today.
To do the Christmas party. That's what I was thinking.
yeah, I was thinking about
And
that
then
too.
just put. Or even just put it in here, like for the
Yeah.
speakeasy.
Yeah, we do.
It'd be a good photo backdrop.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this next 10 minutes before we hit our 10:30. So just a reminder that the extravaganza is the 7th of December from 11 to 1. Please fill that form out. And then the next night is Sunday night, and that is the Christmas party at Joe T. Garcia's. And we've got a lot of cool stuff that we're working on and planning on. So we want you guys to attend that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And are we having margaritas this year?
Oh, yeah.
It's a joke.
I mean,
Hey, come on.
So again, I will not be there.
So Danielle's not coming.
Oh, come on. Not your
She
thing?
doesn't want to go to jail.
Oh.
I didn't get the ticket. Someone else got the ticket. I just made an ass of myself.
Well, come back and then you can redeem yourself.
redeem.
Redemption.
Remember 6 swag. If you want to buy things, you can buy it on the QR code. There's also a QR code back there on the merch wall and pick up your stuff there. We're hitting the national market update. Okay, so I'm sure you guys are seeing some movement. I saw a little bit of movement this week. Actually, one of my listings went under contract Monday, so I'm real excited about that. The monthly housing trends reports that the number of homes for sale in October was the most in more than 4 years, 30% higher than last year, and the 12th straight month of growth. The weekly housing trend data notes that for those aiming to purchase a home before the year ends, leveraging the slower market, increased inventory, and relatively stable prices could be a smart strategy. I saw a thing yesterday that Austin is probably going to lose about 20% of their value, and that DFW is not far behind that. I don't think it's going to be 20%. I think it's going to be a lot less than that, but I think that we are due for a little bit of a correction, especially with the inventory that we have. New Zillow survey found that 45% of recent buyers say their current rate is less than 5%. Reasons included down payment assistance programs, special financing from the seller or builder, refinancing, and other alternative approaches. So people are getting creative. Jason was hitting on some of that today. There's ways that your buyers can get creative. You've got somebody on the fence, Aaron, get them to somebody that can help them. There's a lot of options for them at this point. Okay, huge week. The upcoming presidential election sent stocks on a humongous post-election rally on the hope that possible tax cuts and deregulation would boost economic growth. The completely expected 0.25% Fed rate also accelerates stock buying as the Fed signaled more rates cuts ahead. However, factory orders declined and rising jobless claims pointed to a softening labor market. ISM non-manufacturing index hit its highest read in more than 2 years. Productivity grew in Q3, which will help keep labor costs in check. The week ended with the Dow up 4.6%. I'm not really concerned about that. Even bonds moved up, albeit modestly. The 30-year UMBS 5.5 rate was up 0.16. The national 30-year fixed mortgage rate inched up 5 basis points in the primary market survey. So when they dropped rates, mortgage rates went up. And that was, we as realtors, if y'all been listening to all these rates up things I've been giving you, that was completely expected, because the mortgage rates are not based on what the Fed is doing. It's based on what the 10-year Treasury note is. So Monday, when the bonds weren't trading because the bond market was closed, we didn't see any movement because the bonds were closed. Now we see the rates are back up a little bit, of 0.5%, so not bad. This week's forecast is really important, though. We're waiting for the MBA Mortgage Applications Index, which will be among the key economic reads we get this week. So if you're not familiar, that is the mortgage applications across the country. When we see those start to go up, we can expect buyers to be a week or two behind that. So we want that number to come in strong. We want it to go up from what it was last week. Analysts expect October inflation to hold at present rates in both the consumer price index, producer price index, and retail sales are expected to grow in October, though at a slightly slower pace. But now what happens in November and December for retail pricing? Christmas.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to be out buying. So these numbers are we're going to see growth over the next 2 months on this. Federal Reserve, Fed's meeting again in December, and we're probably going to look at probably a 1/4 point cut at that point. But again, that doesn't affect us on the mortgage rates. However, it will affect how the market responds to those, and the bonds hopefully will come down. But you can see where the consensus is for December, 4.25 last week. Now they're still saying 4.25 is what the Federal Reserve's lending rate will be at. And then our points are above that. I lose you? If you see this every week, I promise it'll start to make more sense, which is why we do this. Okay, business tip of the week. Truth is, everybody likes to buy, but nobody likes to be sold. The most successful salespeople are those who are perceived as helping their prospects get what they most want and need. Did you know in Q3, the mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac together backed $164 billion in purchase mortgages, up 10% from Q2 and up 6% from a year ago. That's 466,000 single-family purchase loans. So people are still buying houses. We just need to help them come down off that fence. Come here and let's buy a house. Let's be working with them. Okay, so I've got a 5-minute gap do you have anything you'd like to hit on for 5 minutes before we hit our next, True Footage? 'Cause we're gonna join them at 10. I'll go ahead and join right now. They may be on. If they're on, they can get started early.
I'll give you a better business tip than that one. I have a very specific sales strategy.
Very specific set of skills.
That's literally, yes, that's how you sell. Act like the guy from Taken.
Guys, we're going to pause until they jump on with us. So we got about 4 minutes and they're supposed to be on, and we'll see if they get on now. Let me see if I can email them, tell them we're ready.
Bathroom breaks.
Everybody need bathroom break? Go ahead.
Breakfast break.
Those croissants were fast.
Yeah, this is a
This
nice,
thing I ate was amazing. It was
Not
like,
that I needed that, but.
yeah, I didn't need any of that either, but.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got my bag. I know.
Never eat breakfast.
Hey, Kaya, how are you? Good. When I saw your picture this morning, I was like, oh, I guess she's not here today. That was yesterday's picture. Okay, I was like, didn't you? I forgot to post it. Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess she's not. I had to check my throat on my lips and I forgot to post. We have to meet that bottle company later today for lunch. But then there was something stupid on the highway. Did you go through that?
And back where I live,
Stupid though.
they have like a whole road shut down that takes you to 20. I got
The whole detour.
Then I get on 20, then there's that huge thing slowing it down.
Yeah. How did you have to get on 20 back to Alito?
Yeah, like, cause I live off there, back, I don't know if you know the road back there.
I
You know, like near
Yeah.
the Savage.
Made you all the way go think Ken.
Well, no, I could still take near, but I had to go all the way down and get on near on a different street, cause the street I take near was completely closed up.
Well, then that thing over the top of that golf course didn't even make any sense. Why did they shut down the high road first? Yeah, it was nice on the side of the road. Did you notice that?
Yes,
It's
and
not
then
even a wreck.
there was that truck following them that said like, slow down. And I was like, that was what we just waited for.
Oh my goodness, I could not even believe that. It made me like 20 minutes behind.
All right. I don't know how this is going to work because we've got 2 meetings going at the same time. Can you hear me, Mariah? Okay, I can't hear you. Let me fix this. Hang on. Because this is tricky because I'm doing 2 meetings at the exact same time. I know, this is crazy. Here's my phone. And what I have to do is I'm going to switch some speakers around. Give me a second to switch some things around here. Okay, and then I should be able to go here. So you can still hear me? Okay, I can't hear you. You're muted. This didn't work like I thought it was going to work, y'all. I apologize. Would you guys mind if I gave you another link that y'all can join in real quick? Let me email that to you. Give me just a second and we'll hang up here and I'll send you an email. So this does not work like I thought it was going to work. So y'all bear with me while I get this thing fixed. Okay, let me put this back up here. Okay, anybody on? Can y'all hear me talking?
Yes.
Okay, and I can hear you. Great. Okay, so we'll wait for them to join us and then we'll present their thing. Thank y'all for bearing with me. This is, I'm in tech hell right now. All right. All right. I think you came in, Mariah. And there's Melanie. Okay. Hi. Okay. Now you guys should have access. And I've got your website pulled up here, but I'm going to let y'all present. And so I'm going to stop presenting on this side and then give you the ability to present from your side, and you guys can do what you need to do. If I can find my mouse. Ryan's having a bad day. Okay, so stop presenting. All right. Melanie, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Great. Okay. Let's make sure that you are able to present. Can you see if you can present there? Yes. Winner, chicken dinner. Okay, floor is yours.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys so much for letting us crash your meeting here. I did promise that I was going to keep this at, I think the agreement was 15 minutes, and I said I was going to shoot for 14 minutes. So let's see if I can uphold that promise. My name is Melanie. I'm the business operations manager here at True Footage, which is our parent company. Currently, I am working with the Re-Verified team, though, which is what we're going to be talking to you about today. I've been with the company for about a year and a half now, but I've been in real estate for the past 10 years. I've done many a transaction in Texas as a transaction coordinator in a long ago past life. So it feels good to be talking to a group of Texas real estate agents this morning. Just to give you a little bit of background about our company. We started out, True Footage started out, it was founded as a tech-enabled residential appraisal company. And we started going into hyper growth with acquiring the leading appraisal software. So appraisers across the nation, we have appraisers in almost every state. And then we also have the software that they use every single day, even appraisers outside of our company, to create lender-based reports. So over the past few years, since our inception as True Footage, we were getting a lot of requests for non-lender appraisals. So a lot of agents were asking for pre-listing appraisals. Maybe their seller had unrealistic pricing expectations. And over the years, we've been compiling a lot of feedback from that. And while agents love having a pre-listing appraisal, of course, we know a couple of things about appraisals. They're extremely time consuming. They take sometimes 7 to 10 days. And when you're trying to get a listing on the market, you want data now. They're very expensive, from $400 to $700. And if you need it on a rush request, it's even more. A couple of other things were that the reports are 40 pages long, and they are filled with a lot of things that maybe aren't as relevant to a seller as they are to a lender. So we compiled all of this feedback and we came up with Re-Verified. So given that we own the leading appraisal software, we have a very robust team of engineers on our side who are absolutely amazing. And they started developing what we call internally True Engine. And so this software is used to make appraisals faster for appraisers. It is driven by algorithms and a lot of data being pulled over the last 5 years to help them complete their grids and adjustments a lot faster. And so we thought, well, how can we use this tool that we use internally and kind of give it a consumer or an agent facing presence? And that's where Re-Verified was born. We just launched about a month ago. So you guys are really getting in on the front end of this. And we're so excited to talk a little bit about what Re-Verified is doing. So our ultimate solution, so we wanted something that was comprehensive yet concise, data-driven but not fully automated, and human-guided but not just opinion-based. So we like to think of this as the Kelly Blue Book for someone's largest asset. I'm going to jump right into the report. And I'm going to tell you guys right up front that we are kind of giving you guys an exclusive because we are moving towards, originally, I'll show you what our report did look like. It was a one-page report, which I'm pretty sure is what Brian saw was our one-page report. But in the next few weeks, we are going to have what you see here on the screen, which is a 2-page report, which is what we've been hearing from feedback that we want more data, but not as comprehensive as a 40-page appraisal still. So this is what our new report is going to look like. We'll probably jazz it up a little bit more. But you'll see here that our report, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So we're going to talk through the key items on this report. So you'll see here right off the bat that you start off with the fair deal zone range. A lot of agents love the range instead of the single value that an appraisal gives. And the reason for this is that they feel like they can build a better pricing strategy off of this. You know, sometimes maybe your seller thinks it's worth this, for in this example, $305,000, but you know it's probably closer to the $290,000, $295,000 range. Well, you can start your listing at the $305,000 range because, like the seller would like, because it still falls within that fair deal zone. Now you leave it at $305,000 for maybe 3 to 4 weeks. You bump it down to that $295,000 range after, you know, a month on the market with no offers. And then, you know, after another month, you can bump it down to that $285,000 range. And it gives you this kind of perfect pricing strategy over the life of your listing. Of course, we all want our listings to sell for $305,000 the very first day on the market. But as we head into a slower season right now, and who knows what the next year is going to bring, it's nice to kind of have this range to build that strategy with your seller on what pricing is going to look like over the next few months. Comparable properties. So we actually list out all of the comparable properties that our system is using and that our real estate experts are comparing to the subject property. And we give it a similarity score as well as the adjusted sales price. So the adjusted sales price is an indicator of what the subject is worth today against these comparable properties. Moving down the report a little bit here, you're going to see the comparable features. So in this example, we examined 2,000 property sales in the target homes neighborhood over the past 5 years. We then narrowed it down to 49 comparable homes. And these are 4 of the 19 data sets that are used to determine the fair deal zone range. You'll see it here on this nice little grid. And then you can also see where those comparable properties are located in relation to the subject property. On the second page here, we are going to have the market defined area up top. And then we'll also show the graph of all of the data that we pulled in our system is going to be shown here. So sales price over time, how these are reacting to sales price over time, the sale to list price ratio over time, and the days on market over time. So it's really going to be a robust 2-page report. And then I'm going to go back up here to show you kind of some of our value propositions. So you not only have the opportunity to use this on your new listing presentations, that's obviously one of the things that you're probably thinking about is taking this to a listing presentation, but there's also a number of other ways that we've created that you can use this, such as for pending listings. 15% of pending contracts never close, and a big majority of that is due to appraisal reasons. You can give the appraiser or the lender this report up front, and hopefully they can use it towards their valuation and risk not getting a low appraisal or killing the deal. Of course, for a stale listing, if your listing is sitting with an unrealistic seller that's priced high, giving a third-party verified price range is really helpful in getting that reduced to help it sell quicker, get your commission faster. And then, of course, for a prospective listing, you can take it to a listing presentation. When you receive your properties in the fair deal zone range, so like this example here is in the fair deal zone range, you can show it off in all your different places. So we have created a list of collateral, which I'm showing here on the screen right now. This first image you'll see is an MLS approved image. So you can actually put that in your images and your pictures on the MLS, and then it'll populate over to those sites like Zillow and Redfin and anywhere that buyers might be looking, so they can actually see that you did the work up front. They'll feel more confident in making an offer. And we also have some Instagram or Facebook social media collateral, so you can share with all of your sphere out there and show them that you're in the fair deal zone on your new listing. Going through our process, it's extremely quick and easy. You provide us an address. We run it through our software. It was built by appraisers and for appraisers, so it's very accurate. We're still pulling our data numbers on accuracy, given that we are so new to the market, but we like to think it's extremely accurate. And the best part about this is that it's not like an AVM. It's not completely automated. We have a real estate expert reviewing all the findings, making sure that the adjustments are accurate. And then within one business day, you get your fair deal zone report back with the fair value range. And actually the one business day is kind of like on the long end. We've been turning these reports rather quickly. We've got a really great team internally that works on these round the clock pretty much. So it's more in the 10-hour range, I would say you could potentially have a report back. I'm sure what everyone's wondering is about pricing. And again, this is going to be kind of an exclusive for you guys up front. We will have most of this pricing available in the next 2 weeks because we're still building it out right now. But one thing we've been hearing over the past month of being active is that everyone wants either a bundle package or a subscription. So right now you can order a single report for $49. But again, in the next 2 weeks, we are going to be running 5 reports a month or per month for $199. 20 reports a month for $699 and 50 reports a month for $14.99, which comes out to $29 a report. And then we again are working on enterprise for brokerage. So if something at a brokerage level wanted to get this for all of the agents on their team, we're working out the logistics around that as well. So this is hot off the press, just approved this morning. You guys are seeing the pricing for the bundle packages for the first time, really. And that is kind of my presentation. I think, oh, did I get it done in 12 minutes? I got it done in 12, I think. So
You're great.
I would love to take any questions you guys might have.
I would like for Brian, if you're there and available, I would love for you to speak into what you just saw as a licensed appraiser. Because you and I've already seen this software, if he's there.
Yeah, sorry, I tried to unmute myself. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I think it's a great product. The turnaround time is quick. The legitimacy of data looks good. I think it's a great tool for realtors as an alternative to a full pre-listing appraisal or just kind of knee deep in the process appraisal.
Thank you, Brian. Hey guys.
And I actually
go ahead, Melanie.
Just one more thing. We thank you guys again so much for letting us crash your party. And if any of you guys can get me an email list of who attended today, we'd love to send a little something. In addition to that, I did pick a random listing and I had them work up a fair deal zone report for 2150 Robin Road, Joanna Batzel. So I would love to get her that collateral and that information for her report. So again, I'll just follow up later. I know you guys have a packed day, I'm sure. So if we could just get an email list, and we really thank you guys for taking the time to let us present to you.
I will send you that through email as soon as I get done with this meeting. So you guys can expect an email from me. Thank you guys for joining us. That was really cool. I hope you guys, any other questions you guys might have? Nope. Okay. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Okay, so what you think? Oh, I can't. $50. And if they've got an enterprise solution, we'll look at it and see what it looks like. I mean, if it's expensive, Jimmy's not doing it. I'm just telling you that right now. But Clarissa, go ahead.
I think that's awesome. I mean, for that price, for peace of mind, to be able to present that kind of information ahead of time and possibly be able to save a deal like that you think is on, that might not go through, but you could send that to the appraiser before they go out and do the appraisal. Like for me, that's gold.
Yeah, me too. And when Brian and I looked at it a couple of weeks ago, because I was skeptical when they came to me. I was like, oh my God, no, it's something else shiny that Brian wants to buy. Because I used to be that guy, and now I don't buy anything. But for $50 a pop for a pre-listing appraisal, I mean, you can't beat that. That's better than a desktop appraisal.
And I love the fact that it's not automated, or I mean, not all the way automated. That someone actually is going to look at it. That's huge. I feel like
it's a hybrid, and I think it's fantastic. I think that was Brian's favorite part of it too, is that an actual appraiser is looking at it and making that good. Okay, so we got 15 minutes here. Let me hit the last couple of things that you guys need to see. I need to present this. Okay, so if you guys have heard me preach about clear cooperation, it's very important that you understand what clear cooperation is from the NAR. So the clear cooperation policy says within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public, the listing broker must submit the listing to MLS for cooperation with other MLS participants. Public marketing includes, but it's not limited to, flyers, yard signs, digital marketing, brokerage website displays, IDX and VOW, digital communications, which is an email blast, multi-brokerage listing sharing networks, and applications available to the general public. Now, I know you guys need to understand that's 1 business day, which is why if you ever see me on a Friday doing a Facebook Live walkthrough, it's because I'm putting something on the market Monday. That gives you the weekend, but it's business days. I see people all the time breaking this rule on MLS. And if I was, or excuse me, on Facebook, if I was on the MLS committee, I'd probably write them up. And let me show you what that looks like. I can get my mouse to cooperate. Okay, so here is what the clear cooperation policy fines are. First time you're caught, it's $1,000. The second time, it's $2,500. The third time, it's $5,000. Those are the fines.
This just means marketing without having it either active or coming soon.
It could be coming soon in the MLS. If you market something on a Friday, on Monday, if you put it coming soon, you are clear cooperation policy verified.
For 30 days, because after 30 days, you have to go active, right?
That's correct.
Perfect, thanks.
You have to go active or something else. Take it off to get rid of it. Put it on hold.
30 days.
Yeah, coming soon,
And
okay?
it counts against your days on market coming soon, that's right.
I'm sorry?
Does coming soon count against your days on market?
I don't
If
think
you're
so.
like your total day, it
I don't think
doesn't?
so. I don't think it's, I don't think,
It doesn't show?
I think it comes in as CVOM.
Okay.
Because it's not actually on the market, it's coming soon. I
Days
could
on
be wrong.
market.
Go ahead.
Days on market does not start accumulating until you go active. Coming soon, it's 0
Cool.
for
Thank
the
you,
entire
Joyce.
time.
Okay, so also, we can't say anything in private remarks anywhere on MLS about buyer agency compensation. These are the fines for the MLS violations and data checker. So if I had to send a couple of emails this week, that we had a data checker issue, a violation that was pending. 9 times out of 10, it's because the tax records that you are importing into your listing, it's giving you the wrong street name or it's giving you the wrong city. The tax rolls sometimes will capitalize all the words like Blue Mound. It will capitalize all that, and MLS kicks that out. In that case, you will get an email from MLS and from me saying, hey, you need to take care of this. If you are not able to go to MLS and change what they're asking for, you call Greater Fort Worth MLS department and say, this is the issue. I got flagged. We have 1 business day to do this. 1 business day for an MLS violation and data check. So I don't want you to pay money and I don't want to pay money and I don't want to go in front of a committee. It's not fun to do that. Okay. So that's what's going on there. Now for the last 10 minutes, we're going to hit something kind of interesting. So the new 1 to 4 family contract is going to be coming out. I think this is what they decided on the 4th. So what, 8 days ago, a week ago? So here's what they changed, and I'm only going to hit the things that they changed. So this is page 3 of the contract, and this is where they're talking about the survey. Somebody, I think Taja was asking about the T47.1, the declaration that's coming out. It's not out yet. It hasn't been fully approved. And once it's approved, then they will put it into zip forms. They'll put it into ReChat. It'll go into all the document places. The declaration is not approved yet. But you can see they've already put it in the contract. So it's going to be there, just a matter of when it's going to be there. And if you ever want to check that, just go into either zip forms or to ReChat and look for that form. As soon as it's published, they will put it out. But that's what's going to change that you guys need to see. The T47.1 declaration, which is a T47, but it doesn't have to be notarized. It does have to be notarized. But if you're just declaring You don't have to have it notarized. The other things that have changed are in the blue. If the seller fails to furnish within the time prescribed, both the existing survey and the affidavit or declaration, the buyer shall obtain a new survey at seller's expense no later than 3 days prior to closing. If they fail to furnish the time in the time prescribed, let me read that again. Buyer shall obtain a new survey at seller's expense no later than 3 days prior to closing date if the seller fails to furnish within the time prescribed both the survey and the declaration or the affidavit. So the first part of the sentence is the part that you need to focus on. The buyer will get a new one at seller's expense. Okay? The rest of that, be sure and always read that. The buyer shall obtain a new survey at, and then you've got a box that you can check there. The other part is in paragraph 2, if the buyer fails to obtain the survey, buyer may not terminate the contract under paragraph 2B of the third-party financing addendum because the survey was not obtained. If the buyer fails to obtain the survey, the buyer may not terminate the contract under paragraph 2B. Okay. Next thing on page 4, this is about the mold remediation, and there's a seller's failure to provide applicable statutory notices may provide the buyer with remedies or rights to terminate the contract. So this is something new that they've come out with, is the mold remediation. So another question we got to ask a seller, have you had mold remediation done? Honestly, I think a lot of that was for Houston with and the Gulf Coast with all the storms that they've had, the hurricanes. So I think it's becoming a bigger deal in the Houston area, but we're Texas, so we got to do, everybody has to see it. Doesn't hurt to ask that question. Settlement and other expenses, you can see in blue, the red line stuff is what they're taking out, and the blue is what they're adding in. So that's where they're changing on paragraph 12, the brokerage fees that the buyer has agreed to pay. That's the change that we were expecting to come, and it has come now. Buyer shall pay the following expenses, and they added the sentence brokerage fees that buyer has agreed to pay. New things we get to deal with. Here's what the bottom of page 10 is going to look like, where it used to just say a blank and you would put 3%, 2%, whatever your number that you're asking for from the buyer. Now it's going to say a dollar figure or a percentage of the sales price. That gives you two options. So you can put a static amount or you can put a percentage. Okay, this is on the third. This is the third-party financing addendum. Pay no attention to page 10 down here. This is actually page 2 of the third-party financing addendum. At the top, this is where they're adding in the buyer may terminate this contract, and they've taken out give written notice to seller within blank days after the effective date. By giving seller notice of termination, copy of written statement from the lender. This is if the buyer cannot obtain buyer approval. Everything else is pretty much the same. They're just changing some of the words around, but I wanted you guys to be able to see all this. Last thing is we're done. So all this, I'm putting the video up this afternoon. I'll have Jason Suber's information. I'll give you the true footage link. You'll also have balloonmyevent.com link in there. So be sure and check the links. Brian Wright has raised the hand. You may speak, sir. You're muted.
Okay, is that good?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, sorry, I'll make this quick. Just along the lines of appraisal, I'll say my shop is involved in a little back and forth on this, but in an appraisal, a true 1004 appraisal for lending purposes, there's some permanent verbiage in there that talks about sharing that appraisal with people who aren't intended users. And also a lot of appraisal offices will put a separate comment like we do in our page 3 additional comments that this appraisal cannot be shared without the explicit permission from our appraisal office or whoever signed the appraisal. So just make sure if in a situation where it doesn't hit value and you're trying to get feedback or whatever, definitely do not forward. If you have a PDF of that, do not let your buyers forward that to anybody. If you receive it, do not forward it where there's there's just evidence or a record of you forwarding that. If you're looking at it and you you want to give somebody a call and you're talking through details, that's one thing. But sharing an actual copy, that could get some people into trouble. So just make sure that in those situations, you're just discussing things and not forwarding actual copies of the appraisal. That's super important.
Thank you, Brian. That's very good information to have. Okay, I think that that's it for today. Anybody else have any more comments, questions, anything you want to talk about before we go? We still got 5 minutes left in our hour. I'll be here from 11 to 12. I got to send an email for the True Footage people about all y'all's email addresses. I think it's something that we can consider or at least use when the situation arises on that $50. I mean, I spend $50 going to Starbucks sometimes. We'll take a family to Starbucks these days and see how much it costs. It's like $35. It's crazy. Okay. Hey, thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate you very much. I hope to see you all. Thank you all for joining us online because you couldn't make it in the office. But I think that's it for today. And 100 Days of Greatness. We'll see you guys at 12. And bye-bye.
Oh, I gotta open this one.
Andrew, I need a better mouse. I can see it.
Christmas is coming up.
No, I just need better.